Do you see her? I see her. I see her in person. I think I see her on the camera. So I think you might see her. Anyway, she's a female eastern box turtle. She's a wild-caught animal that I just recently rescued from a person whom honestly thought they were doing the best thing for her. Unfortunately, they were not. If you find a box turtle on the side of the road, help it across the street. Bring it in the direction that it's going. If it's flipped over, tip it right side. If it's been hit by a car, find a rehab center. But in none of these situations should you take it home and put it in an aquarium and keep it. There was a time where the reptile hobby was 95% wild-caught animals, but that's not the case anymore. Now, there are some animals that are new to the hobby or very difficult to breed, and those animals are still heavy in the hobby in wild-caught animals. But a lot of animals, most animals, are widely captive bred and born, and the eastern box turtle is one such animal. There's plenty of these available, and if you find it on the side of the road, honestly, chances are it's not legal where you are to keep or to take. So don't do it. Let wild animals be wild. We have come so far in this hobby, and this hobby has become one of the most detrimental things for conservation. And now it is actually one of the most assistive things to conservation. A lot of these animals some of them are functionally extinct, are being captive bred and born by hobbyists like myself. And they're surviving, and they still exist because of captive breeding. The price difference is huge, obviously. Why are you going to pay for an animal that you can find on the side of the road? Because the animal that you're going to pay for is going to be healthier. It's going to be parasite-free. It's going to be disease-free, bacteria-free, and it's going to have the best chance of survival. These animals that you find on the side of the road are not built to live in pens. They're built to live in the wild. Find a comparable animal that was captive bred and add that to your collection, and you'll have more success. The animal will be happier, and the hobby will do better. Nature can be very, very cruel, and you don't need to help nature be cruel. You can help the animal as much as you can, but taking the animal home is not helping it. So this right here is a female eastern box turtle that has been in captivity for either 4 or 5 years. I'm not entirely sure. But those 4 or 5 years could have been spent in the wild, and it would have been happier. And because it's been in captivity so long, I can't just release it. It may have had access to diseases that wild populations are not equipped to combat. It may have various parasites from different things that it's eaten. It may just not be able to hunt. And these animals do eat quite a bit of protein. The unfortunate fact is that this animal was taken out of the wild for selfish reasons. Even though the intentions were good, the reasoning was selfish. And now it's got to stay in captivity. And that stinks. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. We want to make this hobby better every single day. There's so much bad press behind this hobby right now, and most of it is on things like tegus and snakes and stuff like that. Not a ton on turtles, but why can't we help the hobby? And the way to help the hobby is to support things like USARG and the TTPG and the TSA, and to not take animals out of the wild, and to support people who are working with these beautiful animals that otherwise would be wild caught. You buy captive bred, you're going to get a healthier animal, and honestly, you're going to get a prettier animal, because people don't breed ugly animals to ugly animals. They breed the most beautiful animal to the most beautiful animal, and you're going to get the most beautiful animal out of a captive bred animal. You take an animal out of the wild, chances are it's not going to do great. You get a captive bred and board animal, chances are it's going to do phenomenally. So here we are. We have this outdoor pen for this tiny little eastern box turtle. She's alone in there. She'll be alone in there. And she'll do well in there, but it's not ideal. And we want ideal. We want to strive towards ideal. Ideal would be all of this. That would be ideal. But unfortunately, that's been taken out of our hands. So this is what we have. And this is what we're going to do. And we'll update her. And hopefully we can all together work towards no more wild-caught animals. Now, of course, there's exceptions to every rule. They were all wild-caught at one point. That's how we got them. Nobody made them in the lab. But we've been breeding them and working with them for so long that things like the eastern box turtle do not need to be taken out of the wild. They just don't. Corn snakes do not need to be taken out of the wild. And that's just 2 of thousands of animals. Wild animals belong in the wild. Captive animals belong in captivity. That's it.